Hollywood spends billions on removing mustaches, but they can't recreate the Rocky magic. In this video, I'm going to list all the minor miracles that added up to make Rocky one of the greatest successes of all time, even though its budget was just a paltry $1 million. To be blunt, Rocky wasn't supposed to succeed. Hollywood had more faith in Rocky the fighter than Rocky the movie succeeding at the box office. They're the type to always bet on Apollo Creed, and adjusted for inflation, none of those movies are making anywhere near what Rocky made. Even Stallone can't do it, and he's been trying for close to 50 years. Rocky 2 comes close, but is basically an exact replica of the first film at 7 times the budget, but without the box office receipts to show for it. Why? The first miracle was a 29-year-old Sylvester Stallone, an unknown actor in 1975 who watched an Ali vs. Chuck Wepner fight and wrote the script for Rocky in just 3.5 days. Stallone didn't write Rocky as a calculated blockbuster. He wrote it because he had to. Stallone was broke, rejected by casting agents, and living with the fear that his acting career might never take off. Out of that desperation came the script for Rocky, and you can feel his anger and frustration in every scene. And then he had the gall to demand he won't sell his script unless he got to play Rocky. He turned down good money because he really wanted to be a star. Of course, nobody else did. He knew it was his best shot because it didn't take great acting chops to play Rocky, and Stallone's natural disadvantages would be acceptable for a beat-up boxer who made money as a goon on the side. To me, the biggest miracles of Rocky are its supporting cast. I cannot imagine anyone doing better than Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed, Burt Young as Paulie, and Talia Shire as Adrian. But to me, the actor that really takes your breath away is Burgess Meredith as Mickey. It would be hard for me to find finer casting examples across cinema. They really make Rocky look good. In this scene, my second favorite in the film, Rocky vents against being ignored all these years. But what sells his acting is how Burgess stares. That look could make a drywall interesting. And you'd be amazed Carl Weathers didn't even know how to fight. He lied he could do it to get the part, and he worked out like crazy so he looked the part. Rocky 2 works great because it has a lot more Carl Weathers and a lot more Burgess Meredith. Now don't get me wrong, even though I'm not a fan of Stallone's acting, his vulnerability, determination, and raw charisma shine through in every scene. He was meant to be a star. But the downfall of the Rocky franchise was written when director John Avildsen stepped aside so Stallone could direct Rocky 2. Maybe the greatest reason Rocky can't be recreated is Sylvester Stallone. He isn't what he used to be. Filmmakers have always been the most creative when budgets are tight. A lot of scenes in Rocky were filmed without permits, on the gritty, unproduced streets of Philadelphia as they were. They didn't close off streets or hire extras. Stallone just ran, and they captured the city in its true form, just reality. Nowadays, by the time all the paperwork is done, the spontaneity is gone, and so is that raw magic. You cannot get nostalgic about manufactured reality. Everyone knows the famous Rocky training montage. Think about why it sticks with you. It's simple. It's a guy punching meat in a freezer, doing push-ups, and jumping rope to music that will move even the deadest dodo. The impact of Rocky was so great it won the Best Picture and Director at the Academy Awards, beating a film like Network. If the training montage was remade today, it'd probably be sponsored like a commercial and have a pop song remix or a cinematic epic score that shook the popcorn out of its bucket but still won't feel 10% like the original. Lighting in Rocky was minimal, and most scenes were shot with natural light or practicals. At one point, Mickey grabs a bulb in his hand to light his face. It gives Rocky its grounded, realistic aesthetic. Cinematography wasn't about perfection, it was about immersion, and that's what makes the film a time capsule. The hair and makeup in Rocky wasn't glamorized. Adrian was shy, wore glasses, and worked in a pet shop. Their relationship felt real because it was two imperfect people finding strength in each other. In real life, you rarely get to run away from your problems. Rocky stands to fight at whatever life throws at him. We all feel like that sometimes. It was also one of the first films to use a now legendary Steadicam because they had to film guerrilla style. However, if they hadn't had access to it, they'd have filmed handheld. The fight scenes in Rocky were raw and unpolished. They felt like real fights because they were choreographed to be messy and intense, not heroic or designed to make the actors look good. Stallone and Carl Weathers looked like two guys trying to survive in the ring. They even got hurt in some of the shots just because they gave it their all to bring life on screen. The filmmakers couldn't afford to fill the stadium with extras, so they had to move between camera angles and strategically place lights to fill in. Notice there's nothing in the background in most of the shots. The sound design was raw but unrelenting and kept us in the illusion. They broke the 180-degree rule to keep us disoriented. They did add a few shots with extras, whatever they could afford. Some of the extras you see are relatives of the cast and crew. They even got Rocky's shorts wrong and didn't have the money to change it.
It doesn't really matter, does it?
Mistakes are what reality is made of. Even the ending was as realistic as it could be. Rocky wasn't in it to win, he was in it to give the best fight he could give. It was about going the distance. It was about proving something to himself. The emotional stakes were deeply personal. In today's Hollywood, they probably have a blue light shine up at the sky in the end for some reason. Rocky shows us that the most compelling stories are often the most personal ones. Hollywood today operates differently. Scripts are crafted by teams of writers with no real-life experience, polished by committees who have never been punched in the face, and tested through focus groups who have never seen a boxing match. The result? Stories designed to appeal to everyone, but connecting with no one. Rocky's a deeply personal vision, and that kind of raw authenticity is almost impossible to replicate in the corporate and fake social media-driven landscape of modern filmmaking. Today, even boxing is about staged, unrealistic fights designed to scam people out of their money. So why can't Rocky be recreated by Hollywood today? It's not just one reason, it's all of them. Rocky was a film that wasn't afraid to be simple, raw, and genuine. It was told from the heart, by someone who lived that struggle. Maybe films like Rocky are lightning in a bottle, moments of cinematic magic that remind us of the possibilities of cinema. Rocky is proof that sometimes the best films come from the most unlikely places. And that's why it's a masterpiece that will never be replicated.
Like the Bible says, you ain't gonna get a second chance.
If you enjoyed this video, jab that like button, share your anger in the comments, and don't forget to go for that subscribe button with your hook. And to calm yourself down and go to a happy place, watch this next video.